Hey everyone, I am THPine and welcome to Acorn Assault Rodent Revolution. What is Acorn Assault, you ask? I like to call it a Squirrel Match 3 turn-based tactics game. It's available on Steam and this is what it looks like. So the goal of the game is to destroy your opponent's base by placing units on your side of the field. We play the first turn of match here, so we have the starting turn at disadvantage, which means we only have 3 pieces to place this turn. And the following turns we will draw 5 cards, which means we can place 5 pieces. So we have barrels and squirrels here. Barrels are defensive units. Let's put them here. And the squirrel, which is an offensive unit, let's put it here. Let's put another barrel here, and this will end our turn. Well, not quite yet. We have the power-up phase. We don't have any acorns yet, though. We will get them later, which will allow us to buy power-ups. We can't do that now, so let's just anti-phase and end the turn, and this will make our squirrel attack with this pistol and deal 10 damage to the opponent's base, because nothing was blocking this shot. It is the opponent's turn, and he will try to place, or not try, he will place some units. You will see he places down a few barrels here, places down a squirrel there, and then he places a third barrel here, which will combine those 3 barrels to a sandbag. Because, as I said, this is a match 3 game of some sort. So if you place 3 units of the same type adjacent to each other, 3 or more that is, you will combine them to one stronger unit, and this will happen by just combining their stats together. So if you combine three squirrels with the gun to 1 squirrel with the rifle, then the squirrel with the rifle will have just the same stats as those 3 gun squirrels combined. So the usual squirrel has 5 health and 10 damage, and if you combine 3 of them, you get a better squirrel with 15 health and 30 damage. And the same goes for the sandbag. 3 barrels are 10 health, will generate a sandbag of 30 health. However, you can combine more than 3, which will create stronger units. So let's actually do exactly that. So we place 1 squirrel here, which means we collect 200 acorns, which we can use at the end of the turn. I wanted to, yeah, let's do it. Okay, we do it twice. So we put a barrel here, we do a squirrel here, and we will have a 4-piece squirrel, a gun squirrel over here, and a 4-piece sandbag over here, which gives us pretty good stats on those units. For some reason, when it's your turn, you can just press right click to see all the stats. If it's not your turn, or in this mode, I have to press this button to see the stats. However, now we have 600 acorns, which means we can buy some power-ups. Every power-up costs 200 acorns, and will only last for this turn, though. The strength power-up means plus 10 damage for all my units. It would actually be more beneficial to do this when I have more than 1 unit, so combining the units is not always the best thing to do. However, combining gives you acorns as well, 50 per piece, so we combined 8 overall, which means 400 gold, plus the 200 we collected from the acorns on the field, which makes 600 acorns. I could save those up for a turn where I have more squirrels on the field. However, in this campaign mission, we're playing against a taxman who has a special ability. At the start of his turn, he will steal some of our acorns. So it's good to not have any acorns at the beginning of the turn, because that means he cannot steal them. So that's the regular strategy here, is try to collect acorns in groups of 200, so we can use them all up at the end of the turn. So let's see, what can we do now? I guess we get another rifle squirrel, even if that will screw up with our acorn count. But it's still a good idea, I believe. So let's do that, and we will just try to protect that thing, my units, with a bunch of barrels here. And do something like this. We're just gonna try to overwhelm the opponent by dealing as much damage as possible to his base. Because we start the match with way more HP than him for this current mission. Which makes this a pretty viable strategy. Another strategy would be trying to trade units effectively and kill off his offensive units with well, only a few units if possible, or with like trading effectively. Basically, is what I'm trying to say. So he's dealing a lot of damage as well, but I probably can just outlive him because I have more HP than him. We have to be a little careful though. I kind of want to show you the squirrel with the top hat, so let's actually do that. This will screw up my defense completely, so it's not a good idea to do it, but I want to show you the squirrel with the top hat. So if you combine 3 squirrels with rifles, then we get a squirrel with a top hat, so that's cool. I think we put a barrel here, put that there. kind of want to pick that up. But no, let's get the sand back here. We need more defensive points in front of the top head Squirrel, which has pretty good stats. 100 damage, that's nice. We could go for safety, like 45. No, he has to deal 75 damage. He's not gonna do that, so let's just go full offense and try to destroy his base sooner than later. Oh yeah, it throws a bomb. And there we go, we blow up the base. And we should be able to deal lethal damage next turn. So we should be fine. He steals some of my Acorns, that's fine though. Not a biggie. And there we go, he gets a Squirrel with the top hat as well. Okay. And he gets actually a barricade. I never saw those before, so good to know what what happens if you match 3 sandbags. My words are not coming out of my mouth fluently tonight. What the hell is going on? Okay, let's try to focus here. So, okay, it's my turn. Let's try to finish this. We're just trying to... I'm just trying to get the... No, it's... Wait, can we do it this way? Yeah, we can. Okay, we put one barrel here. Just let's try to get the Acorns and finish him off. So we place a Squirrel over here. Get that point of Acorns. That actually screwed up our defense completely, but it should not matter. Let's do... That was not very clever, but it's quite enough. Like, that's easily enough damage to kill him off. That's plus 40 to 3 units. Yeah. There we go. So, that's victory. So, it's a cool concept, right? Nice game, you would think. Let's see how this goes. Like, what is more there? Well, there's nothing more. That's the shame. That's all there is. This is one of the first missions. When I played it, I was like, okay, this is a cool concept. Let's see where this goes. Let's see what other units there are, what other cards there are, what, I don't know, maybe other upgrades or something. Unfortunately, there's nothing. You're stuck with 2 different kind of cards, means 2 different kind of units for the whole net game, at least as far as I played, but it's pretty obvious that it will not change. So I played only through the first chapter and the first mission of the second chapter. But it's pretty obvious that there's nothing else, and I actually played a skirmish mode match where you actually see that there's nothing else. So there's only these 2 cards in the game, for sure. And that's quite a shame, I think, because as I said, I think it's a cool concept, and it's a good, well, I feel it's like a good prototype to a game, but it's nothing built onto. So what I would like to see is more units, more different cards mixed in there. The perfect way to do it, in my opinion, would be to enable deck building. Like, give me more cards, I unlock cards throughout the game, and I'm able to put my deck together the way I like it, and then I draw randomly cards from the deck during the match and try to match up my units. Obviously, you have to make sure that it's still, like, that you still regularly can match up your units, so don't put too many different cards in your deck. But I think you can counteract this problem with at least 2 things that instantly jump to my mind. So one thing would be just make the deck size not too big. Keep it small so you can combine easily. And the other thing would be make maybe like combo units where you can combine two different cards or units to one unit. Like, for example, I don't know, 2 Squirrel and a Mice become a cavalry unit or something along those lines. So that would be cool, but yeah, that's just wishful thinking on my part. That's what I would have done with this game, but I did not. So there we go. So I can just hope that the developer picks up my ideas and maybe makes a new game with the same core mechanics, or someone else actually. So yeah, what is there exactly in the game? So it's a campaign mode with 5 chapters, 5 missions. In every chapter you fight the same opponent 5 times. And every opponent has a special ability. The Taxman steals your Acorns at the beginning of the turn. In the second chapter, you play against the Gate Guard, who builds 3 defensive units at the start of his turn. And basically, the AI is not pretty good, but it gains a mechanical advantage, and the mechanical advantage gets stronger or bigger every level. So he gets more starting units or more base HP, and his special ability gets stronger, which makes the last level be fairly challenging, but not because the AI is super clever, more because it just has a big advantage. So that's the campaign mode. What else is there? Well, there's the multiplayer. In the multiplayer, you can either play local, which is hot seat, against another player, and then there's online matchmaking. There's no skirmish mode against AI. The local is actually just multiplayer. It's not a local. You cannot put a bot in here. So if you want to play against the AI, you have to play the campaign, which is okay. Like, there's no real reason to play a fair match against a bot because, as I said, the AI is not that great. So playing the campaign where it gives the AI a mechanical advantage and makes it a little bit more interesting makes more sense, and you can select all the chapters and replay them as often as you want. Sorry. But it would still nice to have like a skirmish mode where you can set up a match against the AI and maybe customize it a bit, like what starting units does he get, or which special ability on which level and stuff like that. That's not too big of a deal. Anyway, let's talk about the multiplayer mode actually. So local hot seat works fairly well. Let's just jump in here. So you choose the characters, and I don't think you get the ability actually. Let's actually, no, I'm pretty sure you don't. And you choose a level, which doesn't matter too much either. There's customization here, but not much because it doesn't mean much. The main thing that happens in the game is placing those units, and the stuff surrounding that is just fluff for the most part, at least. So anyway, hot seat works pretty well because there's nothing you have to keep secret from your opponent. You don't have a secret hand or anything. So one player can play his turn and then switches places with the other one, and he can play his turn, and so on. So that works fairly well. And the online matchmaking, well, online matchmaking is usually a good idea if you want to have a multiplayer part in your game. However, it has some problems. So first of all, we don't have any custom lobbies. So you cannot just play a game with your friends. That's not possible. You cannot just invite your friend or challenge him and play against him. That's like, there's no option for this. However, since the game has no player base whatsoever, you can just press the online button at the same time and you probably get thrown into the same match against each other. So that works, but it's a little silly. So yeah, there's a big issue. Obviously, the game has no player base. Who would have expected that? Well, I did. Certainly, with an indie game like that, usually no player base to be found. And so that's a shame. And the biggest issue I have here with the matchmaking is matchmaking requires a server which the developer has to run or to pay for or whatever, maintain. And as soon as the developers says, well, nobody plays this game anyway, let's shut down the server, it's not possible to actually play over the internet anymore. That would not be the case if there would be an option to play directly, to connect directly to a different computer or to another computer over the internet, as other games are able to do so. And as it is possible in other games, that sentence makes more sense. So that's quite a shame because like you're relying on the developer here to keep the server running. But yeah, so that's the way it is, and that's pretty much the content. Let's take a look at the option menu really quick. It's pretty minimalistic. However, it's a Unity game with the launcher, so you have the resolution options and window full screen options in the pre-game launcher. No borderless windows, as it is the case with most Unity games. And well, you have separate sound sliders here, which is good. There's an interesting bug here. It's nothing big, but let me demonstrate it to you anyway. We'll mute the game because I don't want to blow your ears out. So look closely to the mouse cursor and the slider. Do you see what happens? The cursor is quicker than the slider for some reason. I'm not sure what's going on here. But that was a funny bug I found, so there's that. Nothing, like that's not game breaking at all, obviously, but I find it funny, so I thought I'd show it off. So separate sound sliders, that's good. We have quality settings, like a bunch of presets, quite a lot actually. But the game's not very demanding, so you probably just can run it on high if you don't have a super crap computer. And that's it. I don't think there's anything important missing here from the options. Borderless windows are always nice, but yeah, it's not a must-have. And I don't think we need colorblind mode or something like that. So option menu is fine. But overall, as I said, the content is a little, well, maybe the content is not lacking. The campaign is actually like, that's 25 levels, that's okay. That's kind of cool. It could be a little bit more varied up and not fighting only 5 different opponents, obviously, but like it's not terrible. But the problem is that the core game is lacking, in my opinion. Like, it's lacking variety. It's fun. Like, I really like the core mechanics. I had fun for the first 20 to 30 minutes. After that, it got really stale because you're placing the same units over and over and over again. And sure, you change up tactics a little bit depending on the situation and depending on the opponent's special ability, but it's not like a huge game changer. There's no, like, it's not really rewarding because you're doing the same thing over and over again. You're matching squirrels with pistols to squirrels with guns to squirrels with a top hat and a cannonball for some reason, or a bomb, and you're matching barrels to sandbags and to barricades. So that's it. And that's a shame. As I said, to me it feels like a really good actually, a really good prototype to a game that was not built onto. And I hope someone picks up this idea and makes this a decent game, or full fleshed out game with like deck building and sort of stuff. So, God damn it! I'm not able to make one proper sentence tonight. Not sure what's going on. Anyway, I'm about to wrap up the video anyway, so it should be fine. This is Acorn Assault Rodent Revolution. If you're interested in the game, pick it up on the link in the description below. Maybe it's when it's on sale. The full price is actually quite heavy, with 15 bucks on release and still at the time of recording here. So that's actually quite heavy for the content the game has to offer, in my opinion. But prices are always very relative and very subjective. Like, everyone has different amounts of money to spend on games, and values different games differently. So I'm not gonna say it's overpriced, but for me, at least, I feel it's a little steep, and I would like recommend, if you're interested in the core concept and want to try it out for like a few minutes or like an hour or two maybe, then wait for a good sale and pick it up then, and then you can give it a shot. But yeah, there we go. So I'm TH Pine. If you liked the video, thanks all for watching. What? What am I even doing? God damn it, I should just stop recordings for tonight. Let's try that again. I am TH Pine. If you liked or disliked the video, press the like or dislike button below. Thanks a lot for watching. Have fun and see you next time. God damn it. I'm never going to learn it. Never. Like, I will be here making videos in 10 years and I'm still going to screw up my endings. So, bye.